Nope. There we go. Welcome back, people. This is the last game of the night. Canada Cup Season 2. My name is Barry. With me is El Prez. And this is 2chuanz versus Thundercats. I'm bummed out, man. They don't even have... They're missing 2 tonight. Well, no. Just... Where's the U and... the N? It's all missing, man. It's all missing.
This is the first time we've seen 2chuanz with their full 5-man roster, spilling out the Chuan in glorious fashion.
I don't see the U in the end, though.
Are you sure?
I don't see it. I see the question marks for the avatars.
Oh, well then it's just broken for you.
Is it? That bums me out. I'm going to be really depressed about that the entire game. But,
well,
either way.
They do have the full 2chuanz written out here, CHUAN.
Oh, that's right. Now, wait. Who was playing? Who was... what's his face had it 2chuanz yesterday, which was really damn confusing.
Well, on the other hand, we see Thundercats, Purge's team. Currently, Windrunner picked up every time for Thundercats. Played once by Purge, played the second time by Defect.
I think for a little while, just for a little like theme break, I'm going to say Exiled's team.
For Exiled team?
Yeah, Exiled's team. Just because, you know, usually we say Purge's team, I'm going to say Exiled's team from now on. That's right, Purge!
It's not even Purge's team, it's Salen's team. Salen's the captain.
Yeah, is Salen the captain? Well, he's got that boss invoker picture made by Big Green Pepper. It was beautiful art. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. Where the other ones were nice, though, but the invoker one was really, really where it's at. Either way, first Lich ban of the night here. Not all that surprising. Lich... actually winning twice tonight. Twice in both of our games that he's been played, he's actually won. That surprised the hell out of me, honestly, from that huge losing streak he had. And I think it's... people are finding where to play him properly now. And I like Lich. I really do. I mean, I'm sure I'll get sick of his playstyle in like a week, like I usually do with most metas. But hey, at least we've got a Pugna pick. When was the last time you saw Pugna? I mean, God, there was no Pugna this whole tournament.
Pugna?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I mean, he's just unbelievably strong. I think he's just, I think he's a phenomenal hero, honestly. I think he just requires a certain level of skill from the person playing him because of how finicky he is. Like, the line between feeding and doing well is it's pretty much you're either feeding or you're doing really well. There isn't really a middle ground with Pugna.
With the new Ags change on Pugna that it gives mana when you use his ultimate, it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a you're never not going to be able to use your ultimate is essentially what that is. You're always going to be able to do it.
Like, it's perfect, honestly. The synergy with Ags on Pugna is excellent now.
Well, in terms of what he goes with, I mean, you could run him in a tri-lane, run him as your core. I wouldn't even go too far to say. I mean, Pugna with a 0-second cooldown, you get a BKB and a Scepter, which aren't very expensive items to begin with. I mean, come on, that is going to be really hard to beat, especially if you put it up very fast. Invoker's second pick? Okay, I like that. Haven't seen that in a while. It's worth a second pick, but 2chuanz's response to that is going to be a very common support there as well. Crystal Maiden, second choice. I like that too, but I mean, 2 squishy supports so far and pretty much squish everywhere. I mean, when was the last time we saw a strength hero predominant meta? God, like
Alchemist Lifestealer.
Which was last meta or 2 metas ago?
It was basically the last meta. Like, for instance, at the TI, it was predominantly dominated by tanky strength carries.
This is true. I prefer the strength carries. Like, I want to see more Axe. I want to see a lot more Axe with the change.
Axe is not a strength carry.
I know, but he's a strength winner, okay? He's a dunker. He dunks. He's good at what he does.
He slams, but so does Earthshaker.
Yeah, but Axe is actually quite good. I think if somebody were to give him a try and run him as a support.
Navi tries to run it as that every once in a while. It doesn't usually work out too well for them.
Well, I think if you can get a good chain going, like if you purposefully go out of your way to give him the kills in the fight so you can keep yourself constantly buffed, I think you could run it to a decent effect, but I really think you have to jungle him. I really believe you have to jungle him because of what he gets out of a jungle. He's a very, very solid jungler.
Radiant team ban.
I think the team should run him more of a semi carry, honestly, for Axe. If you get some good items up on him very quickly, he has a lot of potential. It's all about putting the rest of the team down first, putting everybody else down, and then Axe is so far ahead of the opposing team that he just steps in and pretty much squashes everybody. Shadow Demon. Some pretty interesting picks from Thundercats, and I hope I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing. Gonna be an Invoker Shadow Demon combo, Sunstrike with Soul Catcher. Oh man.
Soul Catcher does amplify Sunstrike damage because it does just do damage to the second instance, unlike most magical damage amplifying abilities, because Sunstrike is pure damage.
I mean, you go with Soul Catcher right after Disruption into Sunstrike, guaranteed kill right there. And okay. Okay, I'm feeling that this draft the Thundercats is pulling out, because they're picking so quickly, especially that it looks a little odd. I feel like this is something they've actually prepared, and is a little funky, and probably has a very particular purpose. Because, I mean, having Invoker and Storm Spirit, that almost guarantees Invoker in either your safe lane or a solo lane role, or maybe just a Shadow Demon Invoker pair together, and then Mirana as your solo, Storm as your mid, and then pick a jungler? I'm not sure. Chen is still in the pool.
Storm Spirit being picked up. This is actually going to be the first game Storm Spirit is going to be played this entire tournament. Purge channeling his inner waifu, picking up Blitz's signature hero.
Poor Blitz, though. We had that incident there in Korea. I don't know if you read that. It kind of sucked.
Yeah. Poor Blitz.
Friggin'
and for you.
Friggin' esports, man. Friggin' esports. That's the problem you run into, man. The more esports becomes mainstream, the more people want in on it, and the shadier it gets, because you get the shady individuals looking to make quick money. Sad state of affairs. Waiting for our fourth pick here from 2chuanz. Actually warranting a Nyx ban. That's kind of interesting in my opinion. I mean, I guess Thundercats still require one more support.
Everything is like exploding on my end.
Are you playing beer pong on your end there?
No, it's like there are quarters on my desk and they all went flying, and I don't know why. I think I like moved something on accident. We'll see what happened. But the next ban is probably to help mitigate the effectiveness of the Nature's Prophet. Nyx is actually very potent against Nature's Prophet, even post-nerf, but that's mostly because Nature's Prophet isn't very good against Nyx. It's like Nyx shows up, Nature's Prophet TPs to a lane, Nyx is waiting for him, and then there's no more Nature's Prophet. We do see the classic Crystal Maiden Jug combo. We could see a Pugna supporting this, but I find that very unlikely, just because Pugna... Well, first of all, Storm Spirit was picked up by Thundercats, and Storm Spirit is a very bad hero against Pugna. Very, very bad.
Yeah, I mean, you drop a ward, it shuts down Storm Spirit entirely. Like, what do? You can't do anything. The best you can do is blink, and that's you're only using it as an escape, because you're immune while you're blinking. You don't, or while you're ball lightning, you don't actually take the damage. You lose the mana, but you don't take the damage. So, I mean, realistically, it's going to be a CM Jug dual lane, a Pugna dual lane, a Pugna mid, and then a Nature's Prophet off lane, or Nature's Prophet potential dual lane with whatever their fifth pick is here. I think that might be what we're looking at. Because I think they've realized that Thundercats, with what they've gone for, they don't really have any, like, really, this is going to be a tri-lane. Most of what they have is either going to be a dual lane or a solo. So they see the option in your Crystal Maiden Juggernaut doing really, really well against whatever.
Dazzle, last ban on a Thundercats.
I like Dazzle. I think he's actually pretty viable in terms of his support. I think he's actually really strong.
Carry Dazzle's legit, but you know.
You can't have everything you want.
Well, let's put it this way. He has a great int growth at, I think, 3.4. He has basically an entirely physical damage toolkit, and he's impossible to kill. Like, actually.
That too. There is that. I mean,
So if you
yeah.
build things like Medallion, Desolator, and basically cap out on the armor reductions, keep sticking Orchid as your kind of late game extension, you're basically looking at a very mean physical carry.
Alchemist last
Flash-
pick. Okay.
Alchemist last. That's a support alch.
Is it a support alch, you think?
Unless they're running a support Invoker or a support Mirana, which is possible. Those are all possible.
Support Invoker, please no. I've never seen that before, and I really don't ever want to. I don't think it will do anything, honestly. I mean, does it have the potential to do though? Like, what are you going to be able to do with it? Alacrity. Wow, one ability. Thank you for removing my entire toolkit. I mean, they've picked it as a second pick. I mean, I feel like you'd settle. Like, taking Invokers to support is settling. Like, why would they need to settle at this point? Okay. No, that's where it is. Okay, 2chuanz are running like some very classic combos. Wind Ranger, Nature's Prophet, Juggernaut, Crystal Maiden, Pugnamid. Two very strong dual lanes and a very potent mid lane. I really like where 2chuanz have gone with this. Like, looking at a draft, I say 2chuanz come way ahead in terms of a draft.
Well, it's gonna be 2chuanz, and it's gonna be a jungling Nature's Prophet. I don't see a reason for Nature's Prophet to be offlaning given the circumstances. And I would most likely see the not the Nature's Prophet, the Wind Ranger off in the offlane. We do see another Platinum Roshan.
Whose is it? Purges?
Haxes.
Oh, man. I want a Platinum Roshan. I want a Platinum
Coco the
Roshan.
Courageous, which is a drunk red panda.
Is that what that is? Oh, man. That is probably one of my favorite couriers, honestly. The
Snowl? Where's my Snowl? Can I get one?
I don't want your Snowl. I hope your Snowl gets hit by a bus or
I
flies.
don't have a Snowl, but why would you wish that upon a Snowl?
Because it's not a real owl. It's a Snowl. If it was a real owl, then maybe I'd feel bad. But it's a Snowl, so I don't care. I'm a horrible person.
Snowl.
Well, teams actually tend to relax on this one. Maybe they give us an opportunity to go slowly through our introductions. Hax playing on our Juggernaut. Frost playing on our Wind Ranger with my favorite bow in particular. I love the Stinger. Beautiful. Moons playing on our Crystal Maiden, and our mid lane is going to be Pugna. Crowds is going to be handling that. And Frostivus is going to go to top lane here. 470 playing on a Nature's Prophet. Is this going to be an aggressive tri-lane? Oh my god.
For Thundercats, we're going to see Salem taking up that carry Mirana row. We're going to see Defect up on the Shadow Demon. It's going to be Purge playing support Alchemist, and in the bot lane we're going to see Valib Exile on the Invoker, and in the mid lane is going to be the Reem channeling Purge's waifu on the Storm Spirit.
Channeling Purge's waifu. Purge on a support Alchemist. God, I imagine he's not too satisfied with that choice.
I don't think they mind. If they really wanted to get him something signature, they would have gotten him that Wind Ranger as the last pick. They did have that option.
I don't see where Alchemist fits into most of this draft. Like, for me, I see a few combinations in terms of laning phase, but when we look towards a late game, I mean, who is the solid core on TC? Although, if they are able to secure a very successful early game, they have potential to really run through this mid and late game like uncontrollable because of how many potential cores they have. But it is a very greedy lineup, to say the least. Oh, Purge, you need to be quite careful here. Frostivus actually doing a decent amount of damage. A few more right clicks is really all he would need to bring him down there. Yeah. Actually a tri-lane. Is this... Yeah, it's a tri-lane in the bottom lane. It's actually a tri-lane against Invoker. Exile needs to be very, very careful here. If he gets even stunned up by either of these people, either Crystal Maiden or Windrunner, he's dead. That's it. Invoker's not going anywhere.
The real problem is that Invoker's really slow, so even if you weren't, the fact is, like, it's going to be very easy for the Juggernaut for Frost, or for Hax, to get right on top of him.
I mean, he probably doesn't, he doesn't even need boots to keep up with him there. But mid lane, Pugna versus Storm Spirit. I know we had talked about a little bit that at the beginning of the game, but Pugna actually not taking Ward at level 2. Interesting choice from him there. Honestly, I prefer a 2-1-2 build on the Pugna if you're going mid against Storm Spirit. I mean, you really only need one level in Decrepify. You really don't need to decrep either yourself or Storm Spirit at this point in the game. I mean, realistically, if you Decrepify yourself against Storm, it's really only going to hurt you more than it gives.
Well, not really. Most Storm Spirit builds tend to skip additional points in Static Remnant for more points in Overload, because mathematically that's the most damage you can get, assuming you're playing Storm Spirit ideally. So it does mean that you're avoiding a good deal of the right-click harass that would be associated with it. That said, Krause is doing a pretty good job in the mid lane. He is kind of outdoing the Ream.
Yeah, well, they're moving down towards this bottom lane. They realize that Nature's Prophet versus the Mirana is actually a pretty favorable lane that Mirana can do by herself pretty easily here. And
yeah, but rotating more people down to the bot lane is not something that's favorable for them either, because again,
not ideal for the Invoker.
Crystal Maiden, it could lead to a very easy kill from hacks.
Well, I mean, they're spotting out the movement right away. They've already pinged it out. They're going to have the movement from Juggernaut.
Go.
Yeah,
He's dead. They should go. They should. Is it too late? It's too late.
No, he's going to move along. He's going to move along the vulnerable side as well. They think they don't know he's there, and there it is. Boom, Shackle doesn't hit. That's not even going to matter. He's just going to pop the disruption. He's going to wait for somebody there as well. If anything, that might save him. Answer is no. First blood. There's the Juggernaut. Purge is a little bit too far behind. Even if they turn this into the kill, and they will, they put a 1-to-1. That's still first blood for Juggernaut, and all they trade is a Crystal Maiden.
Not only is that a first blood, but they force Sailing down to the bot lane. They force a TP out of TC. So yes, they got the Crystal Maiden, and they traded supports, but then the Hacks got the first blood. Sailing is forced a TP out. I think Purge got the kill, right? No, Exile got the kill. That's not that big of a deal either, because it was a second kill, and it's going to put Hacks very close to a Midas if he wants to go for it.
Well, I guess they're going to run tri-lane versus tri-lane in this case. And honestly, if Purge is definitely the vulnerable one in this lane, so is Defect.
Hacks up the top lane. They want to keep Exile off foot.
Yeah, and honestly, that's pretty huge. Invoker, without levels, he's trash. He is literally useless. He does pretty much nothing. And he needs to be careful even in this case, and they're just going to go on it here. There's the Sprout. He's looking for the cut, but Hax has the speed if he wanted to continue on it. But quick tower aggro change, he'll have to be very careful on that one there as well. But with Moons in this middle lane, I think they might be looking for a kill on Storm Spirit. He did put down the sentry. Oh, top lane. There was a little bit of initiation there on Hax. Salve is going to be popped there as well. Rima has a bottle. In terms of what Crowds has, he has a bottle as well, and he's going to come up and pick up that regen rune. But Creep spotting him out. All he's going to know. Well, Storm does have the advantage, however, of being able to farm this medium camp relatively pretty efficiently in comparison to Pugna. I mean, if Pugna was playing Radiant, he could do the same thing, but either way, yeah, top lane, no, exiled. If the wave was a little bit further up, that would have been an opportunity for Crystal Maiden, but not this time, so.
Oh, a little bit of harass going on to Exiled. He does go for more points than X-Swords. It's actually very difficult for him to fight. Because the harass is going to put him on the back foot, little by little. He can't regen as quickly.
Yeah, and right away, oh, Moons, that could have been an opportunity for a Frostbite. I was watching that. It looked like it could have got him, but no, they've already put the sentry ward there as well.
There's still no boots on either Moon nor the Invoker, so that's actually a very big deal.
Both two of the slowest heroes in the game, the slowest reactions, like, to start fights. But either way, I mean, putting Ceylon in her bottom lane, it's nice. She's already level 5. She's already been in this top lane by herself for quite a while. The only thing is 2chuanz don't lose a lot by doing some simple rotations, because having the Nature's Prophet is so simple for them. They can just move him into the jungle, and he will lose literally nothing. If anything, he gains more because he doesn't have to worry about anybody. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, a little bit of engagement. They're looking for that kill. The Sunstrike is there as well, but here comes Frostovitz. He's looking for that kill. Ream, they're not going to be able to continue too far on this as well because Defect is going to come in, but that is pretty much all of the Ream's mana. His bottle is coming out to him right now, though, so he'll have to play that very safe. Very, very safe. If they would have been able to hit that Sunstrike, that would have been a kill. But he just took a lot of damage from the Nether Ward. I mean, it's only level 1, but it will still deal quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, it's a real big concern coming out of TC. The problem with Storm Spirit versus the Pugna mid lane is that the Nether Ward alone kind of makes it impossible for you to use things like your Static Remnant, and you still take the 55 damage from starting the ball.
Oh, easy kill right here. There's the slow, there's the spin. He's going to look for the cold snap on the Crystal Maiden as soon as she comes around the corner. He does have phase boots, however, so he could even look for a TP.
Is he going to try a TP? He's not going to make it. What? Oh, mistakes were being made.
What happened? I guess he wasn't able to get around that corner, or what?
Well, the problem was he didn't go deep enough, right? It's not like this. It's like this.
Oh, really? Oh. That hurts.
Mistakes were made. Oh, sorry, no, it is like this. The problem was he didn't really make the whole round. He didn't make it around. He just kept like kind of dancing back and forth here, and he couldn't get the vision.
That might have actually been like a right-clicking thing. I know there's a lot of pathing issues, like trying to like the finicky click into those different areas. So I imagine that's probably what it was. But mid lane Reem, he's pretty much manaless. And as long as Pugna wants to keep up another ward, it's pretty much going to stay that way. But Sunstrike in the top lane. And there he is. He's actually going to... Is he going to go down? He will. Crystal Maiden for an Invoker. Definitely a favorable trade, especially that Hax comes out with a lot of money on the top of that.
Yeah, he gets the kill as well. That's totally worth it. He could still work towards the Midas at this point. I don't think he is. He built a Ring of Bass, which is an interesting item.
Middle lane, opportunity to go down. And there it is. Pugna does go down. Quick rotation there from Shadow Demon. Able to find that kill for Storm Spirit. Pretty significant for him, honestly, being able to find that kill. I mean, this middle lane, it's surprising, though. He does a lead in CS. That surprises me quite a bit.
Ross in the bot lane.
Oh, there's a Sunstrike as well, and kill secured. Sunstrike wasn't necessary, but hey, kill secured, right? More goals for everybody.
No, that kill was gonna happen without the Sunstrike.
I know he was arrowed, so that was pretty much gonna happen regardless. But now they know Invoker. They know he's ghost walked up there. Juggernaut just moving towards him to claim, or feeling a little bit of the frost evolved there, but regen on Storm Spirit, pretty huge item for him here. He could even look to make an initiation out of this, especially now that he's finished his treads. No, yeah, he's just gonna keep trying to burn it. No. Thought he was going to look for a jump there on Pugna, and he's actually going to on the opposite side. After he's used it, he's not going to be able to drop down. There it is. He's going to look for the stop, and there's the health. I think he should have went for the life drain right away on that one. Probably would have been a little bit more of a...
Well, the problem with life drain is that there is a lot TC have that can interrupt it very easily.
They had the disruption up as well, so...
So every hero is capable of interrupting his life drain. I would really like to see an Ags picked up on Pugna. That'll help kind of mitigate that problem of interrupting life drain. In addition, the uptime makes it a lot easier for him to kind of lane if he comes out. Well, not lane, to sustain himself in between team fights, basically, because he can always just go into the jungle, start life draining a large creep, and immediately get all of his health and mana back.
Yeah. 49 CS.
Is the Ring going to try to go on the moon here?
He could.
That might be a little bit too greedy.
Yeah, that's a little bit greedy. There's a Sunstrike though, but yeah, I thought it was gonna pull him out. Yeah, but either way, he's out of mana. He's gonna die for sure. He's not going anywhere. I mean, there's Omni Slash.
I don't know why the life stream was canceled there, but
yeah, I think he might have just wanted to give the kill to Juggernaut. That might have been what he'd been waiting for. Especially that Juggernaut is pretty close to drums. And honestly, as soon as he picks up the drums, Nature's Prophet is sitting there with a decent amount of farm as well. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, I think actually could find a kill, speaking of Nature's Prophet here. Nope. Kind of an interesting juke from him. He's actually looking for the support on crowds, and he's actually going to force the retreat. There's the damage. He needs to throw that concoction out right now, very quickly. Dust is used, but just out of range to actually catch either of these opponents in the Moonlight Shadow here, so...
Well, regardless, they weren't going to get kills on either of those people, even if they were to get the dust off. I think it was more just so that they would know if they were being chased.
Yeah. Either way, Exile in his top lane. Yeah, he's still not doing phenomenal. I mean, he's got level 8. He's pretty far behind, even in levels as we stand right now. I mean, in terms of experience. Yeah, TC are leading, but Invoker is level 8. I guess he's in parity with the rest of 2chuanz, and in reality, 2chuanz are actually kind of far behind in terms of levels, especially that Storm is level 9, and Mirana as well is sitting at level 8. I mean, there's nobody higher than level 8 on 2chuanz at the moment, so... Cross to us as well. A little bit of pressure coming on this tier 1. Not going to do too much at the moment though, but crowds bottle with 0 charges, and he could look to bottle crow it. Continue to push that tower in the middle lane. I mean, that's optimally what you want to do, but there's the opportunity. They're going to jump on top, and they're looking for that Sunstrike as well. The combo goes off, and that's a very easy kill for them to secure. And they're just going to look to bring down the ward and probably continue on to this tower. Invoker's Sunstrikes have actually made up for a lot of the mistakes he might have been making at the beginning of this game.
Star Spirit is looking to pick up a Midas as well. He actually has to finish up now.
Oh my god. I've never seen a Storm Midas. But I don't see why though. A Midas is an Oblivion Staff. Like...
Yeah, it's really questionable. Attack speed is pretty much useless on Storm Spirit because you keep resetting your attack time whenever you use your Electric Ball.
No.
In addition, you really don't need the levels that desperately, but...
Oh, they actually could find a kill on Reem. He's looking to go down to the low ground. He'll make it to the low ground. He'll be alright. Midas comes out to him right now, and hey, wouldn't it be nice to have extra mana regen right now? Wouldn't it, Storm Spirit? I wonder what gives extra mana regen, Storm Spirit? And extra damage. That wouldn't happen to be an Oblivion Staff, would it? Maybe it is. Either way, I mean, it's not a terrible choice going for the Midas. It is, honestly, it just delays the purpose of Storm Spirit. I mean, I see it like a Clanks. Every time a Clanks gets a Midas, it hurts me on the inside a little bit. But even then, Clanks has a little bit more purpose with a Midas because he's a right-click based carry. Storm Spirit really isn't. Honestly, I mean, Orchid First is just so much better because Storm Spirit is somewhat similar to something like Templar Assassin, who's there to get so far ahead, dominate his middle lane, and just create a gap that the rest of his team can just jump into. If you're a little bit behind, and I mean they're
charged. I'm being charged.
Well, they're looking for it. No Frost in the bottom lane. There's a little bit of damage as well. He's gonna self-stun. Nature's Prophet was thinking of going in on it, but he's just gonna cancel them out there. So either way, we're back to our original dual lane on the top. Hax and Moon back together. Either way, drums are now done on our Juggernaut. Not going to do too much just yet here. I think he might have been a little bit better off going for just a straight big item, either like a first item meta, or going for a Yasha or even Sias and Y. Might have been okay for him as well. But I mean, in terms of where we sit, Juggernaut is very much the core for their team right now, and I just haven't seen Juggernaut do all that well as a right-click carry. I think he has potential, but I don't think people build him towards being a right-click carry.
He's okay as right-click carry. I don't like Ags that particularly on Jug. I feel like, yes, his Omni Slash is strong, but making it stronger isn't mandatory. I feel like you really got to improve his combat ability outside of the Omni Slash. Generally, I think the best way to do that is through attack speed, which actually benefits both. That said, he should drop a healing ward here.
He's got level 3 of healing ward, yeah. I mean, realistically,
healing ward
to disrupt the amount of damage that the Acid Spray is going to do here, but they might be looking for an opportunity to go in, signaling to Perch. Pink has pinged out. He could start charging the Unstable Concoction, but no. 2chuanz already way too far back to really do anything about it. They've also got Pugna sitting in Invis here, so they're going to have to be careful. Although, TC have brought up 3 people at this point, so yeah, there. Oh, it's spotted out, unfortunately. Crowd's going to spot it out. There's an Observer dropped, and Defect needs to be careful, and there's the Q, and there's the explosion, and wow, dead. He got smacked, but Moon eating an arrow, a meteor, and well as a deafening blast. He'll go down, but Juggernaut takes that kill, and he's got the Omni Slash as well. Double kill for him.
That's up the trees.
Pretty much cleaning house right there.
With a DD.
That's like the second DD for him in the last like 4 minutes. 2 out of the 3 runes that have spawned. It's been DD, something else, and then double damage again, so... I mean, he could look to go in on it, but realistically, he has no sustainability. He's picked out that Midas. It's not going to allow him to fight right now. I mean, he can with the DD, but he needs to really be careful of his mana, whereas if he had picked up an Oblivion Staff, he'd almost be at his second one by now, even if he didn't have the Midas. But right away, he's going to look to go in. Yeah, instead, he's actually taking a decent amount of damage here. He needs to be careful. He's actually going to go down to the Pugna. Deafening Blast catches 3. Pretty good there as well. Good use of the, of the Sprout. Pugna's looking for that as well. He's picked up the double. Triple kill on just the ward for Pugna.
Ward a good spell.
Ward strong. Ward so strong.
I don't like the fact that they're having Crowds pick up the mech. I feel like the mech could have been picked up by Nature's Prophet. I actually would have preferred that because the potent with the Ags is just such a big item. Even that, they could have also put it on the Windrunner. Like, these are both heroes, I think. Like, they don't use mech necessarily better than Pugna. It's just that Pugna benefits more from having something like an Ags. Nature's Prophet probably from an Orchid, but like Windrunner doesn't matter what she builds. She can build whatever she wants.
Well, bottom line, Nature's Prophet gets smacked out. Honestly, I think they should have expected that by now. That's like the 5th or 6th time they've done the Electric Vortex Sunstrike combo, so like, come to expect it at that point, realistically, but, you know, people make mistakes. It's gonna happen, so. Middle lane. No, he doesn't need to. Well, I guess he does, but this is going to be an Aghanims for Juggernaut. He's already built into the...
I don't like the Ags.
The point booster. I think it's okay. Where we sit right now, I disagree with it, though, especially that Pugna isn't going to be our solo core role at the moment. So I would much more prefer... Because they're going to need a damage source mid or late. They're going to need a damage source moving towards our late game. They're going to need like a dedicated, hefty damage source. And right now, I just don't see, with these item builds, anybody that's going to be able to fill that role. Maybe... Hacks with decent level advantage he's got. He can go with, level 16 Omni Slash with the Scepter, but other than that... Defect as well as Ceylon. They've moved up to this top lane as well to put a little bit of pressure Decent amount of damage there as well. Could see some rotation as well from this middle lane, although they seem keen on knocking down this tier 1. I don't blame them on here. Once they've knocked this down, they are able to take 2. They're going to be confident with that double trade. Two towers just for 1 and the possibility here to go on exile. He does have 1 invoke use charged up if he wants to use Ghost Walk, which he might actually be forced into here. He needs to be very, very careful. He doesn't get actually Omni Slashed here. So, meanwhile, Saylan in our top lane. He's actually got drums. So, you know what? Very questionable item builds from both sides, but whatever. You know, there's got to be a reason for it at some point. Engagement just waiting to happen here. Are they going to keep going? Wow, they are adamant on continuing here. Crowds, he needs to put down that ward though. I mean, he's going to have the range. He could probably put it down here, or even if you wanted to stroll up here and put it down to make sure he covers the entirety of beyond this tower.
Yeah, the Access Ray is a very good ability at kind of warding off pushes, mostly because the area smile that it provides is actually very significant and large effectiveness. That said, the healing ward is more than enough to compensate for those problems. So I'm really surprised that he would max out the healing ward without using it to really want to push more aggressively. That said, when it looks at the pushing lineup, 2chuanz definitely have the edge between the extra tanking from the 2chuanz, the tower demolishing that is Pugna, as well as the healing provided by Juggernaut. Saylan actually trying to escape here, but he's going to get out fine.
Oh, I forgot the Decrepify doesn't interrupt TPs. That surprises me. I forgot that it doesn't do that. So.
Why would Decrep ever prevent a TP?
You know what? I'm not too sure why I had thought that, but I mean, I'm not too sure what he expected. I mean, Pugna doesn't come with a stun at all, so even though he popped that ward.
Obviously, Life Ray needs to come with a mini stun.
I think what he expected is that Morano was going to try and turn on him, and then he would get the advantage from the ward there, but either way, I mean, he burned the cooldown on it. It's pretty much already off of cooldown. He's going to have some mana regeneration issues, though. But as long as he goes into a fight with full mana, he'll have more than enough for a full combo. But Hacks, 500 gold, he'll be done his Scepter. Which, honestly, at 19 minutes, I don't think he loses very much. He actually gains quite a bit by getting a Scepter this early.
Like I said, I don't really like the Scepter. I think it's better to get some more farm enhancers onto Jug. That said, Jug is kind of the hardest carry being played as a carry in this match, so it doesn't really matter that much. He definitely will outcarry Murata in almost all circumstances.
Well, I think another concern is whether or not he'll outcarry Storm Spirit here. I mean, honestly,
that's an easy, definitely yes. Because Storm Spirit, if you have a BKB, it becomes completely worthless.
Yeah, this is true. And honestly, once he has the Scepter, he'll have the bonus speed as well. He'll have the bonus slashes to avoid a lot of Storm Spirit's initial fight potential. So I mean, by the time he's done his Omni Slash, Storm will have burned through at least 2/3 of his mana, so he won't really have too much concern of it there. And right now, we're already seeing the Orchid from Frostivus, which forces out the BKB from the Storm Spirit. It's pretty much a you're buying BKB, I don't care who you are. You know, because if you're silenced, Storm's doing nothing. And the fact that, you know, obviously he relies heavily on Ball Lightning for survivability, taking 30% more damage, you really can't handle that. Like, you will die unbelievably quick.
One of the big problems is that we even see that he gets the Orchid out before the Ream does. So that's actually a very big deal.
I wonder why. Maybe because he bought a Midas.
Well, they both have Midases.
Well, it's Nature's Prophet. It's a little different.
Storm Spirit has 15 less gold. Now, the reason is actually the bottle.
Oh, yeah, that would be... Yeah, okay, I see it. Well, I mean, that's inevitable. He's a mid, which honestly is one of the reasons you don't end up with Midas too often on your mid, is you end up with so many other mandatory purchases that somebody like a Nature's Prophet isn't going to have to worry about. Yeah, a little bit of rotation there. Whether or not they're actually going to find Exiled or the Ream. Do they have any detection if they do? Yeah, I did see some on Nature's Prophet. Okay, he's got the detection if they're going to look for it. I mean, they know they're there. I think Exiled, they might be lying too much on the fact that he's going to... Yeah, he's getting ready for Ghostwalk. 3 wax for the movement speed. He'll pop the 2 class and switch over to Ghostwalk there as soon as they would get too close. And they're both TPing out to our middle lane. Storm Spirit as well. Yep, honestly, TC are just going to avoid fights. And I don't know if really that's going to be what they should be doing at this point. Because I mean,
avoiding fights is fine if you have a stronger split push.
They don't.
Which they don't. Yeah, 2chuanz has way more push.
You've got the push in the Jug, you've got the push in the Invo, you got the push in the Pugna, and you've got the Nature's Prophet. Both, blah, English, hard, are able to push much better than most of the heroes on TC. I mean, I'm not too sure, honestly.
This smoke gank can be
Devastating. I mean, they're going to find Purge here. Very easy for them as well. And Storm Spirit's actually going to go down to the
Purge.
safety of the river. The opportunity for the courier. All they need is one more. They're not going to find it there. But right away, Purge and Defect are actually going to back out. Seeing the danger that's there. Invis picked up by the Ream, and Morana's got a TP as well. So it's actually going to be a Deso. Looks to be a Deso on Ceylan. Good choice for her there as well. Going to be a decent amount of damage. She's going to be able to come out. And I think they could rotate into Roshan for it here as well. But I know actually, Arrow, if you hit Juggernaut while he's spinning with the arrow, does that not pause him where he is with while he's spinning? You know, you're crazy. Yeah, they're going to rotate into Roshan. There it is. Easy rotation. Not going to be too difficult for them there. They have a decent amount of damage. They don't have any minus armor just yet, but that might not even be necessary. There's the Omni Slash on Ceylan. And very, very easy kill for him. It's pretty much just forced out right away. I mean, I feel like they're putting too much onus on this Storm Spirit. I mean, what's he going to do? He's built a minus. He can farm all he wants, but BKBs, as you mentioned, really just ruins his entire day.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's getting really difficult for TC. It's not even that they have like a huge kill or tower advantage. They don't. The problem is that they're not really they're using the map a little better. That's why they have a slight golden XP lead. But the problem is that if it comes to a straight fight between 2chuanz lineup and TC's lineup right now, even the slight XP lead that TC have isn't going to be enough to win them the game.
Oh, this could be it. They might lose the Exiled as well as the Ream here. Actually, Frozen's going to go down first. Ream doesn't have that much mana just yet. The TP support is coming in. Krause is looking for that kill in Exiled. Exiled. He does have Ghostwalk if he'd like to look for the escape. Ream as well. Do they have the damage to bring him down? Answer is no. Heal escape. They've popped the dust. Defect's going to go down as well. Exiled. He's looking for that escape as well. He's actually burned most of his mana here, but he is going to rely on that Moonlight Shadow. It is ending very shortly, so they could continue down the lane and look for that kill as well, but Purge, he's going to wait for it. Pugna. Whoa! Did Pugna not spot him out? No, I think it was just barely. Damn. Close, but no cigar there. Scepter for Invoker now as well. Not too bad. He doesn't really have the levels, though, however, to sustain a higher mana pool. So, Scepter, it's okay, but I don't think he'll be able to push through most of his arsenal without, burning his entire mana pool. What do you think's next for Hacks?
Well, normally given that he built an Axe, I would build a Refresh Orb because But normally I would probably build a Mjolnir as the orb of choice because I'm assuming that the Death Load is going to be picked up by the Nature's Prophet for the additional tower push.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be more of a teamfight oriented Nature's Prophet build. And honestly, I mean, if he wants to go with a Deso, it gives him both. It gives him potential split push, and it also allows him to do a lot of damage to towers. And an orb, I mean, the orbs activate during Omni Slash, and we're already seeing a deep dive there. He's just going to Omni Slash it up. The creep's coming at an awkward time, but it's actually going to save him. Wow. Actually saves him. The slow goes through on Hacks. Demonic Purge still proving somewhat useful there. Taking the damage. It does end afterwards. They're looking for the stun on Hacks as well. He's got them. What happened there? That's odd.
The stun is physical damage.
I know, but they were going to throw it on Hacks. Purge was going to throw it on...
Spinning? I'm not really sure.
No, I think he forced after the opposite side and threw off Purge's positioning or thought process, I think.
Oh, Mech is finished up on Purge, though.
Yeah, there's that. They're actually going to look to bring down Frost. There's the disruption, and Frost is going to die. There's the stun, does pretty much half his health, but Pugna is actually looking for a possible turnaround. There's the damage on Defect. Defect, just unbelievable amount of damage from taken from him. Purge gets shackled up there. Not going to be too much Defect can do. He goes down. There's the Desil and Marana. Crowd's actually going to look to turn this around. Purge is actually taking... East Amount needs to be very careful. dancing around in circles, but the support is coming in. There's the Sunny Strike as well, and he's dead. He danced around for a little while. I think he overstayed his welcome, but either way. Top tower does go down exiled. Not able to deny it, unfortunately. So there is going to be that gold. And it's actually going to be an MKB for Frostivus. Already got his Demon's Edge. Relatively close to finishing that as well. Especially with the gold he's been achieving from pretty much maintaining constant map presence here. Always with his team. Always there farming. Either that, or he's always pushing down towers. I mean, never a dull moment for him. Meanwhile, the Ream continuing to farm up. Almost on a BKB of his own. And will go quite the distance, especially against Pugna. Oh, Ceylan. Good dodge from him. He's going to go down to the pit. He was looking for that range. Crystal Maiden's actually going to find it. She's already expent. There's the... She actually used the Moonlight Shadow on just herself. She's looking for that solo kill. The silence is there as well. Omni Slash is used. However, it has a short cooldown, so... not really a huge loss. The game of weights. The game of weight begins. Da, da, da. I mean, honestly, this is TC just waiting it out. The longer this goes, I think the more likely 2chuanz are to come out on top.
I completely agree. When it looks at the late game lineup, while TC do have heroes that can transition to the late game, 2chuanz have just the better Rat Dodo. And if Alliance has proved anything, Rat Dota tends to win a lot of games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drop the healing ward, drop the healing ward, drop the healing ward.
Nope.
Nope, he's not doing that.
I think he's waiting till the fort runs out.
That's a small mistake.
Oh, there's a tornado. Actually catches 3. Huge deafening blast with the meteor. Catches multiple as well. Hacks is stunned up for a decent amount of time. They're going to go to burst him down very quickly. He has the Aegis, however. He'll be back up. Defect. Tackle shot. Not too successful that time. The freezing field goes down as well. Good quick silence as soon as he comes back up. They'll burst him down a second time. They're all home. Their only hope right now is going to be crowds. They're looking for it, but Mirana actually hits like a bus. They need to be very careful with this Mirana. They're looking for the Sunstrike. Crowds, he's still draining Exiled's health here. He's going to move up to the top lane. Triple kill from Mirana. He needs to escape. He definitely needs to step out of that there. He's going to disrupt himself. Look for that drop, and he's going to go down here. Ultra kill from Mirana. They ignored her. That was it. They just ignored her, and she sat out of engagement range, and she pretty much... She won that fight. Ultra kill says it.
That's not very good. It's not a good send-all for 2chuanz. That fight went very poorly. And I do think a large part of it was, again, not dropping the healing ward. The healing ward would have put up at least a little bit of extra time where TC have to click on the healing ward to kill it.
Well, it just gives him a little bit extra regen as well, because, I mean, how quickly he went down in both instances. I mean, they were so fast on that silence as soon as he came back up. Honestly, the healing ward might have been the difference to keeping him alive, to having a little bit more health, a little bit more time to pop a spin after either the stun, the first stun, or the first silence. But either way, Purge does get shackled up, and he's going to go down. Silence is there as well. They might be looking to re-engage, but a little bit of a miss there, unfortunately.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Star Spirit. I think he's done his BKB very, very short. Very, very close to finishing that here. Like 40 gold or 80 gold, excuse me, and he'll be done. They're actually going back towards the middle lane. They don't have the Aegis this time. They want to get level 16 on Juggernaut, though. That's pretty essential in terms of like the purpose of the Scepter. But now we've got BKBs on almost everyone here, so... Although, if he pops the, the Omni Slash, and he hits you before you pop your BKB, it will still finish. So, ooh. Close to a cheeky play there, almost a 4-staff into an arrow.
Yeah, but the tower does go down, and this is going to be favorable for 2chuanz, so I'm going to be very happy with that. The problem is by doing this push, they're really forcing TC into unfavorable positions, whereas 2chuanz will be able to kind of gain more map control off the back of this.
Well, I mean, they already have a decent amount of map control. Juggernaut moving towards our top lane, just continuing to farm as well, so... He's going to be building a Deso. Don't blame him there. That is a pretty good ore to be picking up, especially if Nature's Prophet isn't building that. He'll actually be building the Monkey King bar instead. Well, he's actually not picked up anything just yet. Like, what's he picking up? Oh, Pugna, on the other hand, he's getting a little bit caught out. He's used his 4-staff. He's waiting for that Cold Snap dance so he can look for the Decrepify and the Life Drain. He's going to drop it. However, Deafening Blast forces it out, and they'll find that kill on him. Well, like Crystal Maiden, and self-stun for Purge. Haha. What are you building, Nature's Prophet? Tell me. What are you building? I think he's waiting to see if Mirana goes for a butterfly.
It's gonna probably be crit or an MKB, and yeah, it depends. He should see the Yasha finished up on Salem though, and assume that it's going to be a Manta rather than that. But we do see a buyback up on Pugna.
Yeah, I mean, TC realized, you know, I think they've come to notice that, you know, we have a decent, you know, our advantage isn't huge, but it's okay at this point in time. I mean, we have the Storm Spirit where he sits in the mid game is pretty dominant, especially now that he's got a BKB. So I think we can look to push. Things are starting to come together for us. Especially that 2chuanz have been having some, frankly, terrible execution so far. So this past 5 minutes have just been like slop on slop on slop on slop. But that's alright. I mean, sometimes people make mistakes. That will happen. They do have the Desolator on Juggernaut, however, so there is the opportunity there. If they want to continue to push, they're pushing. It's pretty much if they get into your base, it's over. Honestly, they will knock your towers down so quick. If they get one favorable team fight close to your base, the GG will it's just it'll be called. Honestly, there really won't be too much they can do about it. Are they baiting? I think they're trying to bait the Roshan. They know it's coming. They can see the Reem as well as the rest of his team there. They've got that observer. Excuse me, this observer spotting it out there. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah. A little bit of an awkward standoff. Nobody really firing, just waiting for that Roshan to come back up. And realistically, Roshan decides our next 10 minutes here, because whoever gets the Roshan is pretty much going to get themselves a free set of racks here. But I mean, the same, I don't know. I feel like that might be a little bit of a misjudgment from my part, considering we did see Juggernaut with the last Aegis go down very, very quickly there. So, I don't know. It's really going to come down to execution.
Well, the big problem is that Jug, he is getting completely blown up during these team fights because they're, the 2chuanz are having a very difficult time kind of keeping hacks alive during these. But again, a Roche attempt would be spotted here by the Forged Spirits. Again, the Healing Ward needs to be used during these team fights, and Hacks hasn't been very good about using that.
Well, there was a 10,000 experience lead on TC. I mean, at 12,000, excuse me, which is ridiculous in terms of an experience lead. I mean, that comes from the Ultras, the Hand of Midas, all that fancy stuff. And there's a Sunstrike as well. Waiting for that, and there it'll go. Opportunity. The ping did go out from purple, though. Shadow Demon knows what's going on. And that Forge Spirit's
that was
go
really lucky, actually. Normally, you know, you don't see the Sunstrike coming in. So the fact that they actually managed to go right as the Sunstrike went off is very lucky.
Yeah, Juggernaut will still get his hands on the Aegis, though, however. But in terms of a gold lead, I mean, 5,000, I mean, that's okay, but it's really not too significant. You're talking really only a Monkey King bar or something like a Daedalus.
It's one item, but that's one item for one person. That 5,000 gold advantage is spread out between the majority of 2chuanz's team.
Well, actually, TC's team, yeah. But only for so long is that gold advantage really going to yield them too much of a difference here. But instead, they're actually going to look for a kill on Defect. Dire Courier does go down, though. Silence actually goes out on...
Double stun.
Oof, I think if he would have dropped that Silence on Purge, that would have been a pretty solid, easy kill for them there. But Mirana, she's actually far behind. What is Ceylan doing? Ceylan! Ceylan! Hello!
You get the courier.
Okay. I mean, they need him for the fight. Honestly, I mean, Omnislash, opportunity for Omnislash right now if he wants to go in on it. 2 up on the high ground, totally available for him, but fantastic use of the Deafening Blast and the Meteor. And there's your Healing Ward, Alprez. There is your Healing Ward. Mirana has returned now as well.
The reason why they're still able to make this fight happen.
The BKB has popped, but Exile, he's still taking the damage. The physical damage from the Omnislash is still going out. He actually didn't bring down anybody just yet. He's actually going to take Purge with the spin there as well. They need to turn on Ceylan. Hello, Ceylan. He's killing everybody once again. It's just can't happen a second time. Double kill for Ceylan. Killing 3 for, Invoker as well. Buyback from Nature's Prophet. And they're going to find the stun. There it is. And that's going to be what? Another triple for Ceylan here? Another triple for Ceylan?
That's the Aegis being burned, getting ready for the re-engagement here.
Yeah.
Oh, too early.
He'll spin. Does he have enough? No, not enough. He's dead again.
That's a full wipe for 0.
And a buyback. For nothing. They didn't even damage the racks. I mean, I feel like this might be just mismanagement of damage, honestly. I mean, Ceylan, he's tearing them apart. That's twice, and they don't find him in these fights. Reem, on the other hand, he's almost done his Sheepstick there as well. So as long as they maintain a decent gold lead and they keep 2chuanz down, they're not going to be able to finish the items that would give them a lead against Storm Spirit's kind of lackluster carrying, late game carrying potential. But Ceylan, they've got 3-way capability, or three illusions dealing the DOT or the status of Desolator there. They've got the Alacrity as well. Pretty much a Rax. They might... They're actually going to turn. They're actually going to turn on it there. And there's the one-man stun. The Force Staff from Crowns preventing the stun. Well played on his part there as well. Hacks. He has Omnislash if they want to look to go in on it. Instead, they're actually going to back out. Don't wait for another.
There's still no kills going the way for 2chuanz, so that's not very good, regardless.
Yeah, they lost the tower. They pretty much evened up the game. TC
they
pretty much
also forced
evened
the
up.
buyback at a Jug in addition, so it's like wasn't good.
Did they buy back? Did Jug buy back?
Radiant's bottom tower
Yes, he
is
did.
under attack.
He did indeed buy back. He did indeed buy back. Exile turns to a next item. Is that a refresher orb? I really hope it is. Please be a refresher orb. It actually might be a Lincoln's. You could go for a Lincoln's, I guess. BKB and Lincoln's for him? It's not a terrible idea. Survivability, I mean, 2chuanz are relatively squishy. I really don't think he needs double abilities. I mean, realistically, 2 Meteors and 2 Deafening Blasts would probably be game-changing, considering how good his have been so far, but in terms of what they need, I mean, obviously, they just need Farm and Rana, because obviously, apparently all you need to do is give Ceylan money and he wins fights. So, I really don't see what else they're going to need. Smoke now on Jug. Probably just gonna, yeah, they're gonna do a jungle invade. Circled out by hacks as well, so. Unfortunately, they're not gonna find anybody though. The only ward vision they do have is down here. They don't really know where anybody is just yet. I think they're making the assumption that TC would be farming the jungle if they can't see them here, but now they're gonna get sight on Ceylan. As well as Purge, this mid lane. Tells them a half-decent amount of information.
I feel like at this point, TC can just look to push in Orax. They do have the advantage. They do have momentum, especially in the level department. With the mechanism finished up on Purge, and he has almost done with either the AC or the Shivas, whichever he chooses to go to, it's going to be very hard for 2chuanz to fight effectively.
Yeah. I mean, they have to be very, very careful. If TC pick up the next Aegis, it's pretty much a death sentence for 2chuanz. Especially if you get 2 lives on the Ream, it's just terrifying at that point. Interesting that he's actually went for the Shivas. I realize that he's pretty much the core, honestly, aside from the Mirana at this point, and picking up that Shiva just allows him to survive a lot longer. He's got his BKB, he's still got a decent duration on it, 10 seconds. He actually hasn't used it once. Wow, 10 seconds left on it. So either way, Purge as well. He's going to be building that AC very shortly, and pretty much it's just starting to spiral out of control in TC's favor right now, honestly. I mean, in terms of where the mistake was first made, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, where did 2chuanz go wrong?
Well, I feel like the biggest mistake that 2chuanz was making in the end was that they just weren't really pressing their advantage when they had it in the pushing department, which is the biggest weakness. They tried to do slow sieges, which are fine, but only if you're really taking advantage of the healing ward, which Hax wasn't.
This is true. That's probably the biggest thing on Juggernaut in terms of when you're looking to push. I mean, they have the Pugna. They can literally sit there all day. As long as Pugna is healed, they can just spam Nether Blast, and the tower will go down, you know, with the Desolator as well, and Hacks, you know, record time, tower would go down, so. Either way, Ceylan is just going to continue to farm. And I mean, the difference, though, is people say Mirana's not that fantastic with solo core, and honestly, she's not. But when she's as far ahead as she is, when she's got 17,000 net worth, it really doesn't matter. That could be a Crystal Maiden with 17,000 net worth. I mean, it's still going to hurt. But down to the bottom lane, 2chuanz, they're waiting for an opportunity, and this could be the opportunity that they're waiting for. Oh, there's the tornado. It does purge smoke if it hits anybody. Blink Dagger no finish on Shadow Fiend as well. Long range initiation, longer range than Demonic Purge already has anyways. In terms of sight, where do we sit? Okay, the Dire have no sight on the low ground, okay. So Ceylan just continuing to farm our top lane. It's going to be Daedalus for him very, very shortly. Just needs to walk over and sell his TP, pick up his Demon's Edge. Roshan going to be up within the next 3 or 4 minutes here, so it's probably what we're going to be waiting for. As per usual Dota, where people like to wait forever for the Aegis.
Yeah, nothing too, you know, spectacular here. Everything is pretty standard.
It's just farming. I mean, really.
Yeah.
It's just somebody's waiting for somebody to make a mistake. Some misplay or bad positioning, and we're just going to sit here until it happens. Other than that, people are just going to continue to farm. Midases are going to continue to create gaps, and Mirana's just going to continue to get scarier. I mean, she could pick up a Daedalus right now. Oh, I love that courier. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's the Panda, and it's honestly a really, really detailed courier. Like, the texturing is really well done.
Texturing is really well done, but it's also just a drunk red panda.
Hey, who cares?
I'm saying that's adorable. Except
Yeah.
it's a fat red panda, so it's less adorable than the regular red pandas.
Is it, or is it more adorable because it's fat?
I don't know. Regular red pandas are pretty adorable because they're like really small.
That's true. That's true. But then it's supposed to be like the Brewmaster theme, so I see that logic. And I mean, oh wow! Just realized how low the health was in the bottom tier 3, and it's gonna go. They don't have the TP support just yet. The Reem can just barely escape if he'd like to. He could even turn around and get the right click. But right away, the silence goes to BKB's popped as well. Frostivus needs to watch his back, and already Reem goes up to the high ground. Not taking.
Force Spirits gets the kill on the tower.
Oof. Right away, he's looking at TP, and there's the Omni Slash for it. 87 seconds on Storm. He's got buyback though, so either way, he'll be okay. They'll be satisfied with that trade. Tier 3, exposing the barracks. Minimizes the space for 2chuanz to farm safely. Roshan's up in 10 seconds as well. Although that Storm Spirit kill, it might force a buyback if TC do realize that Roshan is back up. Oh, Invoker's done the Refresher Orb. Ooh. Beautiful, beautiful, but no, this is going to be a TC Aegis. Really nothing they can do, really nothing anybody can do about it. A BKB on Windrunner? Why? Why? What does Windrunner have in her kit that absolutely needs to go off every team fight?
Well, with the Aegis, they can feel a little bit safer, but the last time they used Aegis on Hacks, it didn't do anything. But we see a Refresher Orb finished up on the Invoker, so it looks like he wants to kind of do double Meteor, which could hurt a lot.
The double Meteor, double Meatball, double Deafening Blast? Man, that's like 6.5 seconds of disarm with the amount of Wex he's got right now, so an amount of Exort as well, so that's pretty scary. There's the one Tornado, opportunity calls, there's the first Deafening Blast. He can go for the Refresher Orb now if he'd like, or he can wait for it. Yeah, he's probably going to pop it right now. BKB Refresher as well. There's the second Deafening Blast. There's the second Meteor dropped on Frostivus. Omni Slash is used. That's pretty much their whole arsenal, and they're going to lose. They're going to go down one by one. Moon as well. There's Windrunner. There's Moon. Juggernaut's down as well. He's going to come back up, but he's the last one. And the Courier. And the Courier. He's dead. Hax is gone. 5, and they lose nothing. Meanwhile, Mirana in the top lane, she didn't even participate in that fight. 3 exposed racks, buybacks everywhere, not on the importance. There's one set of racks. I think this is game. I think TC have got this. I mean, at this point, it really doesn't matter whether or not your cores are better than your opponents when you've got a 15,000 gold lead. And if I had to be really dead honest, I think Storm Spirit's a better core than Juggernaut, but hey, whatever. You know, I think that his pick-off potential is quite a bit better than Juggernaut's. And Juggernaut relies a lot more on his supports being effective rather than just himself, whereas Storm Spirit is quite independent. Because, I mean, you know, Jug needs some stuns to be lined up with him as well. And Frostivus. But yeah, Jug needs some stuns to be lined up so he can continue to be effective after the Omni Slash, where Storm Spirit just really doesn't care. As long as he's got items, he'll continue to kill all of your supports unbelievably well, especially when you've got a lot of money on pretty much everybody on TC. All of your importants have a decent amount of money. I mean, Purge has even got an AC at this point, and Shadow Demon has a Blink Dagger. So, I mean, they're just going to look to go in, and honestly, there's not much that can be done. There it is, already popped. The Remi's going in on Frost. Frost taking quite a bit of damage. There's the Tornado. Ceylan, monster kill for him. 2 are down. Gonna be Windrunner as well. 3. Frostivus is gonna be 4. And there it is. Game. Is game, folks. Is game. GG, well played. There it is. TC. Join QQ in terms of a record. 2-0 for TC, 2-0 for QQ. The undefeated teams of our tournament thus far.
Yeah, so both teams will be moving on to the main stage. 2chuanz and Samshoro will still have a chance tomorrow, I believe. Or is it Thursday? I'm not sure anymore. But regardless, very